Coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Ian Tatum here, back with another clinic series video. And today I have Coach Jeff Comfort. He's the defense coordinator at Lincoln Christian in Oklahoma. Coach, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you, Coach?
I'm good. I'm good. Coach is going to come on here and talk a little bit of defense. I'm an offensive guy, so always having a defensive guy come on and talk ball is really, really good. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the screen. I got your huddle. You're good to go. I'm going to back out, and you got it.
Okay. My good, Coach?
Yeah, you're good, Coach. Go ahead.
All right. All right. I just want to come on, talk a little gap scheme, run fits in the 3-3-5. We're like a hybrid 3-3-5, three high safety look, which is kind of starting to become a little more popular over the last several years. I thought it gets talked about quite a bit in the passing game, but I mean, I think it's under talked about in the run game, and a lot of people's answers are gap scheme and to add a tight end in there. So I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about that today. Just a quick basic info. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Just this is basically who we are. We're hybrid 3-3 defense, which I already said. We mix in three high as well, but on rundowns we're going to look more like a 3-3 stack, and you're going to see it a lot. But our whole goal in the run game is to force everything sideways. We're going to spill everything and use our speed. We've got a lot of guys that are 5'10", 160 to 180 pounds, and so we have some big guys too, but we really like to utilize those athletic guys that have to play both ways. I kind of just elaborated on that already. We're going to use our tweener kids. We're a small school. We're 3A in Oklahoma. We have about 320 kids in our high school. So that gives you an idea of, we got a lot of guys that have to play both ways. But we're really we want to run sideways. We're finding ways to use these hybrid kids and, use our speed and physicality in space and make everybody run sideways. And, we feel like we can, if you're running sideways, we can use our speed to get after you a little bit. I kind of broke it up into segments, so I'm going to start with the defensive line. Our whole goal as a defensive line is to play a primary gap, secondary gap. A three-man front. We got to where we were telling guys, you have this gap, and even when we were a four-man front several years ago, that they wouldn't make plays. They would just say, well, I was in my gap, and they let guys run right by them. So we really changed how we coach it. So they're primary gap, secondary gap. Defensive ends, they're going to strike the shoulder of the near offensive lineman in front of them. So most of the ones you're going to see today, they're five techniques for four eyes. If they get a down block, we say spill chase. Okay, so they're going to strike the shoulder of the offensive lineman in front of them. If you get any kind of down block, or we treat a pull the same as a down block, you're going to spill it. If a lineman's coming to you, if you don't have anybody coming at you, you're going to chase it down from the backside. And the way we coach spill, just to make it short without getting ultra detailed, is we just want a violent collision as close to the center as possible. Ideally, we want the inside shoulder of the guy pulling at me to kick me out. We'd love to turn him, get inside, and make the ball, bounce outside. But we understand that's not always going to happen. So we tell them violent collision as close to the center as possible. And if you can get that, we'll be in good shape. And then just a quick, I'm not going to go over the double team technique too much, but all the double teams, to make it real short and easy, they're going to hold their ground until the combo leaves, and then they're going to fall off and make a play. If the combo never leaves, then they're just going to hold their ground and do that first part. So our nose, you'll see it a lot. He's just going to hold his ground quite a bit. If he doesn't get moved, that's a win. And then you'll see he'll come off and make plays, a little bit. But that's really not his primary job. So here's some clips of our spill chase technique. I tried to segment it so you can see it a little bit at a time. So right here down to the bottom of the screen, you see number 15, who we're looking at first right here. He's trying to strike the tackle. His shoulder leaves. Okay, so it's pretty quick here, but he goes flat down the line. Okay, we really want to work the heel line of the offensive line. We do not want to get upfield at all. As soon as his shoulder goes away, we're flat down the line. We're going to strike the guy running at me. Okay, going inside shoulder. He does a really good job right here, hitting his inside shoulder and driving him backwards. Okay, we would say that's a great job. It's a violent collision. He strikes him really in that A gap and pushes him backwards and makes a mess of it. And then on the backside, you see the chase technique from the other defensive end right here, number 32. He gets a pull right here. Okay, and as soon as he pulls, he's trying to strike that shoulder. No one's coming at me, so I'm going to chase it down from the backside. Okay, so both guys do a really good job right here. It's a really good picture of what both defensive ends will look like, and you get good clips on both of those. What it should look like. Right here, you get more of a 3-high look with 3 safeties. Okay, so a little less room for error when it comes to the box. So we're like here we're looking at the defensive end. He's going to get a down block. Okay, he works a little bit more upfield than he probably should. Okay, he's trying to strike the tackle. He doesn't get off a great strike, but his physicality on the guard is really good. Hits that inside shoulder. You can see his head's on the inside of the pulling guard's head. And he really condenses it down, allows the linebackers to flow. Again, this isn't a perfect rep by everybody else, but because we get a violent collision and drive that guy backwards, we're in really good shape for everybody else. Again, we're going to look at the defensive end right here. We're also going to see this guy as well. I'll start with the defensive end right here, number 44. They get an arc from the tight end, which we do get quite a bit as we get – this was the semifinals, so we got going later in the year. People tried to add a tight end and arc us, which is fine. So he's trying to just strike the offensive tackle. You can see his hand try to get to it. As soon as he feels him go away, again, this isn't just a perfect spill rep where we're getting our head inside, but he does a good job. We are not ultra violent, but we're violent enough, make pretty good contact. We're probably in A gap, really B gap. Okay. And we just make it a mess back there. It makes the running back have to pause. Okay. On the backside, you get the same thing you saw in the earlier clip right here. He's going to get 2 pullers. Okay, he gets flat down the line. And because we played this team already during the year, so they had an answer for what we were doing there, and they do a good job of bringing the H all the way across. He's also going to treat that as a spill. And he gets inside, he gets smoked. But again, he gets inside shoulder, takes that gap away, and lets the linebacker flow. And you'll kind of see, I'll marry up what the linebackers are doing here in a second. Okay, down here, we're going to look at this guy right here. You're going to get GH counter coming back this way. Again, they arc us. We're in a 4-eye. He arcs us going to the corner. Gets flat down the line. Again, our head's not inside, but we square him up pretty good. It's pretty violent enough where we get the H in the way. He gets kind of caught up on the kick out. Boom. And the quarterback, our linebacker gets to flow, and our quarterback starts stutter stepping. And again, honestly, right here, we're really outnumbered in the box. I mean, if you're counting numbers here, it's 7 on 8 because the quarterback's running. But because we get a good violent spill from this guy, we get a 2-for-1 and we get the numbers back even, which we talk about quite a bit with our guys, just explaining what's going on. I mean, they had 3 really good athletes out here. We had to dedicate 4 guys to it, and that's the give and take of football. But what you can get with a really good spill and a really good chase is you can gain numbers back in the run game. Again, right here, I just wanted to pick a couple clips with a different formation. Okay, you're getting a spill here. You're going to get a chase on the backside. This is just trap. Inside again, violent collision, forcing him backwards, really condenses everything down. And then on the top side right here, he lets him go. So he's flat down the line. If we're flat down the line and no one blocks us, we have to make the play. Okay, again, so we're trying to gain numbers back. This was a bubble RPO quarterback pull it option type team. So we had to find ways to gain numbers. And you'll see that as we marry up the other positions. I'm going to skip that clip. Okay, same thing. We played this team already once. We kind of knew what they were going to try to do to us. Okay, so they're going GT counter because of how fast we flow. So he's flattened on the line as he gets a pull. Okay, and he can feel it. This guy's going to shuffle down, hit 54 in the mouth, violent collision. Okay. Not great. In my opinion, we get kicked out right here. But because of what they're trying to do, we are dictating that he's going to pull the ball. So he pulls the ball. They're going to like a little option. They'd already actually completed this ball to this guy earlier in the game, so they went back to it. Okay, and we had to make a little bit of adjustments during the game on how we're going to play our defensive end. We had to slow him down just a little bit, and he does a great job of redirecting, being a really good athlete, and making a play. Okay, so that's our defensive end. So there's Spill Chase. Okay, so that's a third of what's going on. For our linebackers, okay, they're stacked linebackers. So I'll kind of talk about that as we get to the film. They don't have to be linebackers. The stacked three guys are reading near guard to flow. And that the play side guy could be a safety. He could be our Sam. He could be our Mike. He could be our Will. It just depends on the structure of what we're doing on the call and throughout the week. So our play side guy is fast. As soon as he gets a pull coming to him, he's a fast scraper. The middle guy in the stack's going to be fast scraper, but he's going to be a tight scraper. He cannot overlap the play side linebacker until the ball declares there, and he's going to think B to B. So we don't spill overlap. You know, I know a lot of guys do it that way. We don't. We don't spill overlap. We're going to spill with our defensive end, but we're not going to overlap the linebacker. And you'll see a bunch of that on film. The backside guy, which ends up being the guy that's really difficult to block in the stack, he's the backside run through. And he's got a lot of freedom, and we can play different games with him. That should say game plan. But we can game plan that guy differently depending on what the offense is going to do. So in short, we've got a fast scraper, we've got a fast but a tight scraper, and then we've got a backside run through guy. Okay, so on all these, I'll try to show the stack guys. So we've got stack, stack, stack right here. These are the three stack guys. We don't count this guy. This guy's going to be the apex guy, which we'll talk here in a second. And we're in man, so it makes it a little bit different. So they're going to go GH counter away. So we get a spill from this guy. It's counter away to me, so I'm fast scraping right now. I'm going to show up at the line of scrimmage. It should be immediate right now. The inside guy is going to be the tight scraper, and I've got some end zone shots on some of them. Our tower broke, so some of these places we play, I don't actually have the end zone, but hopefully I've got a few for you. This is going to be the backside guy. So we've got fast scrape, tight scrape, backside guy. This guy is the quarterback player, which I'll get to here in a minute. But you're going to see he's slow and he's in man, so he's got some different things going on. Okay, so fast scrape, tight scrape. The guy that ends up making this play is the tight scraper. Fast scrapers over the top. Okay, they end up getting, they honestly get a kick out on us. Okay, but our tight scraper does a great job not overlapping that. Okay. He beats a block. It's actually our backside guy makes the play on it too. Okay, so they show up at the same time. But again, I kind of said the backside guy is the hardest guy to block in the stack. And if we get an end zone clip here in a minute, I'll show you. Okay, so right here we've got fast scraper, tight scraper, backside run through. And it takes a lot of reps for these guys to know who's who, a lot of pre-snap communication. Okay, so it's a GT counter. Again, you saw this play earlier a couple times from these guys. Okay, so there's not a true down block. They kind of turn out the 5 technique, almost go double wrap, which may have just been a bust. Okay, but he's right now. So how we should fit this is he's outside this puller, he's tight inside this puller, and right here is exactly what we want, a mess. There's really only 2 places this ball can go. He can bounce it outside to this guy waiting right here, or he can cut back in this gap right here to our backside run-through player. And what he ends up doing is cutting back exactly where he wanted it to the backside run-through player. It's tough to see from that angle. I don't have an end zone clip, but you can see him run through and really in the backside B or C and tackle him. Really good job by all 3 guys right there. Okay, again, we're in a 4-man front. Our rules aren't going to change. Okay, we've got spill. He's in man on this guy, so he doesn't count. So we've got boom, boom, boom in the stack. Okay, so even though we're a 4-man front, we still get our 3-man stack principles with our linebackers. Okay, so we get a little motion, a little eye candy. This guy does a good job not taking it. Okay, so it's counter right at him, so we're going to get spill. this guy's fast scrape, this guy's tight scrape, this guy's backside run through. So the fast scraper does a good job. If we don't get a true spill, we end up getting kicked out a little bit, but it's violent enough and close enough to the center where it condenses everything down. We talk to our D linemen a lot about condensing things down. They do a good job of condensing right here. Okay, our fast scraper, he's over the top of it. He becomes dead because it cuts inside of him. The tight scraper, they get a pretty good combo on. They move our defensive lineman, but he does a great job not overlapping too much and making the running back go vertical, which a lot of people don't like. We actually don't mind the running back going vertical. Those are usually our best guys right there, so we're good with it going vertical, running right to where our best 3 linebackers are. But the backside guy has a great path right here. And you can see it. This happens a lot. This little backside bubble run through, okay, the center has to make a choice. The center had to block back here, but when our 3-man front, he's got to make a choice. He got to come off and take it, or are they going to combo to the middle backer? Right here, they obviously had to go back to the one technique. Okay, so it leaves the backside B gap run through player. He does a great job. He's got to make the play. If he's unblocked like that, he has to make the play. Again, I've got some end zone coming up. It'll be a little bit easier to see. Okay, here's a little, again, eye candy, a little motion away. Okay, so we've got GT up top. Okay, this guy didn't count. He's dead. He's in man going motion. So we've got stack, stack, stack backer. Okay, fast, tight scrape, backside run through. Again, we're in a 4-man front, mixing it up, but nothing changes. Okay, again, pretty good spill. Okay, we condense it down. It doesn't actually go outside, but we're totally good with that. Okay, our defensive linemen did exactly what we asked, and they had a really good offensive line, so we knew it was going to be an uphill battle this game. Our fast scraper gets blocked. He gets blocked pretty easily, honestly. Okay, but our tight scraper does a great job not overlapping him, condensing that down, making the running back have to hit it in that tight window. Okay, our spill guy comes off. He becomes a factor. Tight scraper, the swabber goes ahead and he gets a little bit on him, but not much. He's ending up on the tackle. And again, our backside run through. There's nobody to block him right here. Backside run through again. There's that little bubble window. Okay, so we have numbers right here just because they're not running the quarterback and we're in man, and that's again part of it. If they were going to start pulling the ball and doing some things, we probably would have had to make some adjustments, but they really didn't in this game, so we were able to stick with it. Here's power read. Okay, we've got power read coming this way right here. They're going to leave this guy. Okay, and they end up having a little double team on this apex guy right here. Okay, but again, fast, tight, backside. Okay, so we get a down block and a spill. This guy's trying to do what he's coached to do so hard that he ends up just running himself out of the play. He's down. We really would like for him to hit this guy. If he's not going to make the play, we would really like for him to make contact on the puller. Okay, but we're going to force a give the way we're playing it. So we're forcing a give. We're saying, okay, this ball might get out here. The apex guy's playing with his outside arm free, which we'll get to here in a minute. Okay, and then we're fast and tight. Okay, so we force the give. And because of how fast our fast scraper is, he does a good job right here, forcing it back inside. Our tight scraper does a good job not overlapping him. Okay, our backside run through, they actually block. Again, this is a playoff game, so they've seen it enough on film now to say, okay, we've got to get this guy blocked. Okay, but they do a really good job not overlapping and then, making a play on, they're both end up being one's unblocked, one's half blocked, okay, but they both are in on the tackle, so they do a really good job. But again, we're dictating to the offense what we want them to do. We're saying, you're giving it. If you want to pull it, that, good luck. But your read is saying give it. We're dictating what he wants to do, so now we know where the ball's going, so we're able to coach our guys, this is where it's going to go. This is how you're going to have to make the play. Okay, so this is power. This is a little bit tighter. I've got an end zone shot of this one, actually. Okay, so it's power to the top of the screen. Okay, you see the defensive end up top. He's condensing it down. There's not a whole lot of space in there. Okay, we've got our fast scrape, tight scrape, backside. Okay, these guys are doing other things we'll talk about here in a second. They are part of the play, but they're going to be doing some different stuff. Okay, the backside guy is not great. He falls in a little bit late, does not a bad job right there. I'd like him to be a little bit faster and a little bit tighter. Okay, but our fast scrape is making contact right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even in the backfield. There's not a whole lot here. And our tight scrapers, again, he's about a yard off. Okay, so that's what we want. Condense everything down. Here's the end zone copy of it. You see 14. This is 14 right here. He does a great job being fast scrape right now. Boom, fast scrape, outside arm free. Okay, tight scrape. He gets, he's not quite at the line of scrimmage, but there's not a whole lot of room. If the running back wants to try to fit it in that window, that's probably what he's going to try to do. That's what he's getting coached to do. We've also got our nose guard right here, and then we've got this guy falling in late right here. Okay, so I love this shot right here because it's a mess. It's tough to find windows. Okay, eventually we'd like this guy to bounce out here to this unblocked defender. Okay, but if you want to run up in that muddy mess, you're doing what we want. You're not going to win a whole lot of games doing that. You're not going to get a whole lot of yards doing that. So pretty good rep right there by all the guys, just making that look gray and ugly. Okay. Now we'll talk about the apex players. Okay, so we've got the spill part of it. That's a third of it. We've got the linebacker part of it. That's a third of it. And now we've got our apex players. Usually it's the safeties, but like I said earlier, it really could be anyone. They're going to read the end man for run pass, but there are quarterback RPO players first. And so I referenced those already a little bit. They're doing some different things. But our really, once we're reading the end man for run or pass, our rules are right here on how we're playing it. And this is zone as well. If it was inside zone, it'd be the same thing. If the back's to me in my head, I'm going to pop my feet and I'm slow. Now, when they do some near run game, we do have some teams that do that. We might have to rep that a little bit differently during the week, but usually it's fine. Okay, so if the back lines up to me, I'm going to pop my feet and I'm slow. If the back is lined up away from me, then I'm fast. And then you get those teams that are in pistol, and that delays it a little bit, and we've got to go off the quarterback's face. But it's not as difficult as it seems. You get enough reps in practice with the pistol, it ends up they follow their rules pretty good because it's ingrained in them starting off in the spring. Okay, so I'm going to try to buzz through this real quick. So here's our three stacked linebackers right here: apex defender, apex defender. Okay, so they're in the pistol. So now I've got to wait to see if the quarterback's going to look at me. Boom, he opens to me. Okay, so right here, I'm popping my feet. I'm going to slow down and make sure I don't get a pull from the quarterback or an RPO. It means this guy right here can be really fast. You can see it. He goes a little fast early, probably because he's in the pistol. Then he goes pop, pop. Just a boom, 21 right here, pop, pop. He sees a give. Now I can fall in late. Okay. Great job. Good technique. If the quarterback pulls it, he's going to have to beat a block. But right here, I don't see a whole lot telling the quarterback to pull the ball. We've got a guy accounted for him. Okay. The end really does give him a pull read, but I think 21 in his vision is making him really think about I don't know if I've got a clear picture right there. Okay, right here we've got stacked backer, stacked backer, stacked backer. Okay, they go trips. We're in a little bit different look. So our apex, we're in a Tampa look. So our apex is the corner. Okay, and this guy can kind of play both, but we've also got this guy sitting out here as well. Okay, so if it gets all the way out there, we're in pretty good shape. Okay, so right now, this guy knows the back's away for 6 knows. The back's away from me, I can be really fast. The corner knows the back is to me, so I've got to be slow on the quarterback player. It's GT counter away. Okay, you can see the corner up to the top. He's a little bit slow. He's not doing too much. As soon as he sees it's given, he's going. Okay, 6 is right now. Good spill by 15. Okay, we get fast scrape, tight scrape, strings all the way out. This guy misses the tackle, but again, we're running lateral, we're running sideways. That's exactly what we want you to do. Corner does a good job, ends up getting close to being in on the tackle. Okay, good job by both apex guys. Okay, this is probably my favorite clip of the Apex defenders in the whole year. Okay, because it starts off, I know for sure right now I've got to be slow. Okay. He's thinking I'm fast, but he's got another guy out here, so he's not quite sure. He's got some other things he's got to worry about. As soon as he goes in motion right now, I've got one guy out here. I am as fast as I can be as soon as I get a run read. Let's go. This guy now has the quarterback, but he also is going to end up having this too. So he's got to really make sure he doesn't get out leveraged and pop my feet. Okay, so the backside Apex guy, fantastic job. You might say he might be able to throw that out there, not leverage him. Maybe. He maybe can. Okay. But I mean, that's part of playing the game. You're not going to be able to cover everything. Okay. But he's doing a great job popping his feet. Now, my reason I really like this clip is because of how fast this safety comes and plays. Power to me. I see his back. In-man blocks down. Let's go right now. The fast scraper gets there really fast. The tight scraper gets there pretty fast. But there's no one to account for the safety. And he falls back in and makes the play. Just a really good job by that guy. Took a lot of reps for him to get there. Okay, but that's exactly what we're asking both of our Apex guys to do. Here's an end zone clip of it. He goes. I'm right now. Fall in. Make him right. Okay, here's our Apex guy right here. Okay, they're in like a heavy unbalanced set, so they've got four-man surface plus trips over there. So our Apex guy to this side is our corner. Okay, and then we've got this guy sitting right out here. So they're going GT away. Corner does a great job holding. Make sure he doesn't give it. If they go GT, it bounces all the way outside. Okay, the back's away from me. So this Apex guy to the play, really good technique. He's playing outside arm free. Okay, so once he knows he's going, I can go right now. I'm going to condense outside arm free, move it to my help, and then when the ball declares, I can make a play. He's outside arm free, but he can still make a play on the inside. Okay, we coach that guy. You're outside arm free, but once he goes inside, I'm going to rip back underneath. I should fall on the back of that guy's legs, which he does a pretty good job of right there. If he can square him up, then he probably isn't doing a very good job of keeping his outside arm free. Here's a little bit different look of how we're doing things. Okay, we had to change it up. This guy's playing man on the H. Okay, so he's tracing the H. We called it 3 key. But he's going to trace the H right here. Everybody else is playing normal. Okay, so our fast scraper ends up being our Apex guy now. Our safety, who we moved in here, is now going to be part of the fast scrape. Okay, here's the backside Apex guy. He's fast, okay, because the back is away from him. Okay, so it's power to him. Defensive end does a good job condensing it. Fast scraper there. Okay, it's hard to see where the ball is, but it's right. It stays back here a little bit. Okay, but you can see this guy does a good job. I'm going to pop my feet and hold because he's looking at me. So I got to play this bubble right here. Okay, this guy can be really fast. Pretty good clip of the safety falling in. Okay, again, the whole goal of this is it's just condensed. There's just not a lot of space in there. I mean, the guy runs into the back, and it's hard to even tell who makes the play. Okay, but that's the whole goal of what we're trying to do with our run defense, especially in gap scheme. We're going to condense everything down, try to make it run sideways. If you want to run in the mess, go ahead and run in the mess. Okay, now I put a bunch of clips on here to kind of put it all together, just to talk through, all the different looks at once. Okay, so we're going to see a spill chase, our 3 stack backers, and here's our Apex defenders. One's a corner, one's a safety. Okay, again, in this game, we had to go 4 over 3 because of how athletic they were. So we get one back power away. Down here, this guy's got a hold on the hitch. He's opening up to me, so I know I got to hold and make sure I don't get RPO'd. You get the backside run through. So this is the backside scrape. This is the tight scrape, fast scrape, Apex. Okay, so the guys that are doing all this can change however you want them to change. Okay, like right here, the corner is the play side Apex. He's going to have to come and get in the mix. Okay, here's another look at it. Okay, so now we were playing, again, a little like corner, a Tampa cut look, which we just moved our corners inside. Okay, so we've got apex, apex. Those are both corners. Okay, linebacker, linebacker, linebacker. Okay, again, they're a little bit unbalanced right here. They're going like 20 personnel unbalanced. Okay, so it's power here. We're getting a condense it down, spill. We'd like it to spill, but if not, at least we're going to condense it. Corners the fast scrape, tight scrape, backside run through. Okay, so he ends up pulling it, but if he didn't, we'd be in really good shape right here. With a tight scrape, no one's to block the corner. Okay, we'd be in really, really good shape. Quarterback pulls it. Again, we kind of had to make some adjustments with the backside guy. He's just being a really good athlete right here and redirecting. Okay, we've also got this guy hanging out. He doesn't do a very good job. Okay, but we've got these two guys. If it gets through, if he pulls it, and we can live another day. Okay, but pretty good look at a corner doing the job of a fast scraper, which is going to happen. I mean, if you're going to be a good defense, your corners are going to have to play at some point. It's nice to be able to hide them, but at some point, they're going to have to come make a tackle. Okay, here's a power read look out of 20 personnel. Okay, so apex, backside run through, tight scrape, fast scrape. They leave the defensive end, down block. He's going to do a good job spilling it. Okay, they force really should be a give. He just keeps it and runs the give path. Okay, but good job not overlapping. He's inside, he's outside. This apex guy's getting doubled. Okay, so in that case, these guys have to make the play. And they lost. I mean, they're going 2 for 1 on a safety, so that's fine. That means we've got numbers with the linebackers. Okay, make him run sideways, stutter step, do all the stuff we want him to do, pursue and make a play. Okay, we got power to the top of the screen. Okay, apex, backside, tight scrape, fast scrape. Zone copy. I think I can't tell if we're in a 4-eye or a 5. He's really tight. He's a really tight 5 if he's a 5. Okay, but again, he's going to condense it down. Okay, he gets turned out a little bit. This is more of like an ISO. I would call this ISO, even though he's pulling a guard, like double ISO. Okay, the fast scrape does a really good job. Go meet it right now. He has to meet this right now. Make it a mess in the hole. Boom. He falls off. Yeah, I know the nose makes the play, but I'm not going to look at the nose for just a second. Backside scrape right here. So we have a play side scrape, backside scrape, extra, apex. Okay, now the nose just makes a really good play and falls off his block and makes the play. But, we don't always count on that. We have to just assume he's not going to do that. If he does, great. Okay, but again, we do, in my opinion, he probably should have thrown the bubble right here. Okay, but we had shown this guy enough out here that, he's going to second guess himself just a little bit. Okay, but if this was a really, really good offensive team, they really ran the ball well, but we condensed the box here on this play. Good job, good rep. Okay, so this is GT Bash. Okay, this is a quarterback that could run the ball, but the running back had run for like 600 yards total in the first 2 games we played. So we were trying to stop this guy. So they went GT away. So this guy is kind of frozen because he sees 21 coming at him, which we were fine with this week. But the guy I really want you to look at is this guy does a great job. He's the backside guy. He's the run through. So he's going, but he does a great job seeing what's going on. Okay, and redirects and makes a really good play. If they give it right here, they may have a good play. But again, we're dictating if they pull it. But we're dictating what they're doing. Okay, we're telling them, okay, he's inside. Go ahead and give it. We want to dictate what the offense does. We don't want to let them. We don't want to be responsive and let them dictate to what we're doing and have to solve that problem. We want them to solve the problem we're giving them. Okay, Apex. So he's going to play the bubble. This week we had a really good running quarterback. So this guy was a backside run through guy, but we also made him a quarterback player. So we went bubble, quarterback, boom, boom, Apex here. Okay, so this was more of a game plan week on what we're doing with our backside run through guy. Okay, but we were able to gain numbers with a nub tight end with the corner. We were fine with our corner on a nub tight end. He ends up being the one that makes the play right here. Fast scraper over the top. Our tight scrape, he gets in there. He just misses, falls off, slings off. Corner makes the play. Okay, but I mean, you can play games with who you want here. Like we could easily make this guy a safety and this guy a linebacker, depending on what their personnel was. In this case, this is a safety right here, and this is a linebacker. But it's not hard to exchange guys. You can give a one-word call, which we actually have there, to exchange responsibilities. Okay, so the reason I put several of these on here because I know the answer to the 3-3 stack a lot of times is to add a tight end. So we see that a bunch. So I went ahead and put several tight end clips on here in different ways we handle that. This week we walked a linebacker down, so he becomes the spill guy. He becomes the defensive end 5 technique, condensing it down. So we're able to get a safety in here as the fast scraper, and then here's the apex guy on this side. So we got fast, tight, backside run through, apex, corners, apex with a nub tight end. And again, that defensive end makes a great play right here. I'm not really worried about that. I'm looking at the other guys. He makes a TFL in the backfield, which is great. Okay, but the Sam linebacker does an okay job. It's not great. He gets turned out. He doesn't condense it down very good, but you can see right here, our fast scraper and our tight scraper are going to inside out that puller, and they do a really good job. The backside guy, again, that bubble path really isn't there, so he does a good job just kind of staying, in the path that he normally runs if he were to cut back. But 21 right here, I'm not sure if they're reading this fully and he's running a slant or not, but he is in that window. If he's going to pull it and throw it to 1 right here, he at least is giving you the illusion of red color. And, those are the games you got to play if you get some RPO teams, which is a good answer, to RPO and try to replace the linebacker. But you got to have answers to that. Okay, here's an unbalanced set. Okay, an overset. So we had to bump everything over. Apex, tight. I'm sorry, fast, tight, backside, apex. We're inside. We're in a 5 technique, so we've got a soft edge, which we're okay with. We're okay with that. He does a good job. He's tight. This guy's going to show up because quarterback's back shows to me my apex guy can go fast. Okay, and ends up doing exactly what we want. Spills outside. It's 1 unblocked guy, and then they miss the other guy, so we got 2 unblocked guys. Good job. They both near foot, near shoulder. Hit him at the same time for a tackle. Good job. You can see it right here. The tight scraper does a really good job right there, making it cloudy and ugly. There's just not if I freeze this clip right here, there's just not a whole lot of places to run. This looks good, but this guy isn't going to fall off into this gap. But there's just a lot. There's a lot of spots in there that look like white jerseys. Okay, a lot of people on offense, if you're an offensive guy, you'd really like this look right here. This looks really soft. We're okay with that happening, okay? Because for us, it's not. How we play defense, we're okay with that. It's not as soft as an edge as it looks like. So apex, it's power this way, backside, tight, fast. Quarterback power this way. Okay, so they leave him and they go block him. So we're going to try to play with our outside arm free, near foot, near shoulder, that guy, outside the puller, inside the puller. Okay, which they do a pretty good job of. Okay, we hit this guy a little bit too thick, so he bounces. And then our corner goes. Okay, this quarterback, he's at OU right now. He was really fast. We didn't just love him running sideways this week, but it just shows you, if they're having to bubble backwards and run sideways, even really fast guys, you can chase down. Here's a good look at it. See 6 right here. This right here is a tough look for a ball carrier. Okay, he's again a little bit too thick right here. Hits him a little too thick, which allows him to get outside. He falls off, dives, and makes a good effort. Doesn't quite get there, but our fast scraping linebacker in the corner, they do a good job of running him out of bounds. Okay, again, this is a really soft edge. Okay, so we got a 4-eye and a nothing, which I don't just love that. Normally, we'd like him to at least be a 5, but they did not block this front real well, so we were okay with that just because they didn't block it real well on film, so we gave him a different look. So we've got fast scrape, backside, tight, fast scrape. We've got apex, apex. Okay, this is buck sweep. They pull both guards. Okay, they don't quite. I'm going to go to the wide copy. That's not a great clip. You can see 27 right there. Run through. The tight end's confused. He's not sure who to block. He's unblocked. He should make this play. But, I mean, that's what we get a lot, the way we play our defense is when offensive linemen have to turn the corner and go upfield a lot with that soft edge, it's unconventional. And so this is just a good spill clip by number 56. Okay. So this is a 4-man front again. You can do this out of 4-man front. Here's our stacked look right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're playing 40 linemen just because of the personnel we're playing right here. 22 becomes a spill guy, and 6. This is a great tight scrape by him. It's power. He does a really good job seeing that window. Tight scrape makes the TFL. Okay, again, he's thinking B to B, so he's okay. I'm okay with him going right there. B to B. I mean, that is B. That's where he hit. And so he does a really good job right there. And he knows if I'm wrong, I got my backside help right here. She does. He hops over backside B cat, and they don't cut it back. But again, there's just not a lot of jerseys. It's condensed down. So again, out of our 4-man front, that's what we want. I mean, it's no different than the 3-man front. We have got an extra D lineman in there doing similar things. Let's skip that clip. Here's ace. Okay, so you see it from a different look. So we've got, really 5 down look to ace or double tight. We call this ace. Okay, it's 1 back power away. Okay, so here. We're in man, so it's a little bit different look. We get a pull chase by the backside guy. He does a good job. He gets a puller. He's attacking his shoulder. He makes it flatten down the line, so he becomes a factor, makes the ball carrier think about where he's going. Okay, so these 2 guys are both scraping. They're doing a great job. Okay, this guy right here is playing primary gap, secondary gap, knowing I got help. Okay, so from the initial alignment, he's a 9 technique. He's here, but he knows I'm primary gap, secondary gap. So if I see the ball declare and I rip inside, I'm fine. That's where it comes to making a play. And he knows I've got the safety behind me as my apex guy. He's the quarterback player, and he's slow, so he can clean it up for me. Here's a nub tight end. It's a buck sweep that way. Okay, we're playing a 4-man front. We got a 6 technique. He takes up the tight end. Backside, tight scrape, fast scrape, apex. Again, corner may be a factor right here. Okay, in this case, the corner is going to get blocked by the guard. He's not real thrilled with that, but we'll trade a guard for a corner every time because that means you're not using a guard to block a linebacker. So the fast scrape, tight scrape, good job. Fast, tight. Backside finds this window all the way, works all the way across. Great job by all 3 guys. Again, and you can see this clip. We're in man, okay, but right here he's opening to him. As soon as he sees the ball's not thrown, he can go add. Don't just stand out there and do nothing. Okay, same team, 6 technique. Motion, so we lose our apex guy. He kind of halfway goes over there. what we want. Tight scrape, fast scrape. Go ahead and bounce it out there to our defensive end and our corner. Okay, great job. That's a great job by all three of those guys. You can see the stack. Fast, tight, backside. Here's quarterback, so they even up the numbers. Okay, if our corner won't tackle, then they've got numbers, but your corner or our corner's got to come in and make a play. Okay, so they kind of arc right here. They're going to kick out the 6 technique. This was their adjustment. Okay, they really have a decent play. Okay, but it's so condensed and ugly in there that he's not able to get steam going. And we scrape off of it with our tight scraper, and the backside scraper even becomes a factor. Skip that one. Okay, again, 4-man front. Here's a good look at it. Okay, you can see our guys are communicating. Hey, even out the stack. You're this, you're this, you're this, you're this. It's a lot of communication right here. Good spill by the defensive end right here. Boom, boom. Okay, it's running sideways. And again, we think if you run sideways, we're going to catch you. This is a good clip by the backside scraper too. You can see him running through this backside B right there. Skip that one. Okay, and again, here's one more look at our backside scraper running through the backside B gap. Okay, just again, condensing it down. I don't want to repeat the same thing over and over again. That's how we, fit up our gap scheme in our defense. It's been really good to us. Obviously, I know it's not the only way to do things. Everything we do, we've probably stolen from someone else. But it's been really good to us. Our kids, know it in and out. And again, there's my contact. If you have any questions, email, call, text, I'm happy to answer anything. Film. We don't have any secrets. We're happy to share. Anybody that wants anything. I love talking ball and. Would really love to, do this again. This was fun. And, I like coaching football. I like coaching kids. And, I'm proud of what our group of kids and our programs become. And, we have good players, good players make good coaches. And, a lot of those clips, those are just players making plays. And, Coach, I appreciate it. And, if you need anything from me, happy to help in the future.
Yeah, Coach, I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and stop sharing that. So if you want to hit unshare, there you go. Yeah, man, watching that because as an offensive guy, first thing you said it, 3-3 stack, add a tight end, right? Get your quarterback involved, RPO stuff, and you were boom, 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 all these different answers, and y'all were super aggressive, and y'all are super pursuit of the ball was insane, and I'm sure it was not fun game planning for y'all and seeing y'all on Friday nights. So it was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, guys, if anybody wants to hit up Coach and talk ball or just reach out to anything he's just talked about, feel free to do so. And I'm sure he'd love to do that for you.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you.